The Suzuki Jimny is one of those cars that feels like it's been around forever. I suppose in motoring terms it actually has. It first went onto the market in the 70s with the LJ series, then in the 80s this transformed into the SJ series, then in the 90s came this, the Jimny. That makes it nearly 40 years old, and since then it's seen a lot of competition. But how does it stack up against the latest crop of baby SUVs? There's only one engine available with the Jimny, a rather sluggish 84 brake horsepower, 1.3 litre 4-cylinder petrol, and it's really lacking when it comes to performance. 0 to 60 takes 14 seconds in the manual, but if you go for the 4-speed automatic, this increases to 17 seconds. You can tell this is an off-roader of the older generation. There's a lot of body lean in the corners and the steering is very vague. The ride is quite bouncy, especially at low speeds around town too. Also, there's no attention paid to refinement. The engine is coarse at low speed and booms when revved hard, and you will need to rev it hard to make progress. Where the Jimny really is at home though is on the rough stuff. You won't find a more capable off-roader for less. The low range gearing means you won't get too bogged down either. It'll go a lot further than more road orientated crossovers, thanks largely to the ground clearance and short overhangs. It is set up for tackling rough terrain, and you can switch between 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive or low range 4-wheel drive for really tough stuff. It doesn't have any other special off-roading aids like hill descent, but in all honesty it'll tackle anything thrown at it just as well as SUVs that cost twice the price. It all feels very utilitarian when it comes to the interior. The plastics are very scratchy, but all the switchgear and controls are neatly laid out. What is very annoying though is the driving position. The seat doesn't have height adjustment and the steering wheel doesn't move in any direction. Having said that, this is a proper 4x4, which means the seating position is quite high anyway, and thanks to slim pillars and large windows, visibility is excellent, whether you're pulling out of junctions or tackling an off-roading course. The boxy dimensions means that parking is a doddle, which is a good job as the Jimny isn't available with a reversing camera or even parking sensors. Access to the rear is slightly compromised, especially in tight parking spaces because of this rather large side hinged boot. There isn't much space back here either, but it can be extended further by folding down these split fold rear seats. Where it'll really hurt though is depreciation. After 3 years the Jimny will be worth less than a third of the original asking price, and it's not as if running costs are any better either. Fuel economy is low and CO2 emissions are high. Overall then, the Jimny is a very capable off-roader and very cheap, but its on-road manners and build quality really make it hard to justify against other budget 4x4s.